The contract dispute has reached a new level. It is a critical point for our members, both active and retired. It involves the unilateral action by TriMet to reduce health and welfare benefits without bargaining, and the long-term effect to our members by such action could prove devastating. TriMet's General Manager, Neil McFarland, in a letter to the union dated September 27, 2010, wrote, "During the pendency of the arbitration, the ATU filed an unfair labor practice complaint against TriMet, alleging TriMet engaged in bad faith bargaining by submitting new issues in its final offer." Mr. McFarland further wrote that TriMet learned that the health insurance premiums for the two bargaining unit plans will again increase substantially on January 1st, 2011. And unlike last time, TriMet has no intentions of picking up the additional health insurance costs and has no legal obligation to do so. McFarland also said that TriMet has no intention of providing additional cost of living and adjustments during the pendency of interest arbitration proceedings. And as a result, there will be no cost of living adjustments in December 2010. The problem with this position, the union contends, it clearly violates Oregon law. Making unilateral changes to the parties' contract while pending arbitration, when our contract requires status quo, is another violation of the law. During a meeting over the contract on October 21st, 2010, ATU 757's Financial Secretary, Yvette Farah, asked Mr. McFarland if he would have initiated actions to change active and retired employees for insurance on January 1, 2011, and refused to give active employees their contractual wage increases scheduled for December 1st, 2010, if the union had not filed an unfair labor practice. Mr. McFarland's response was no. Retaliation for filing an unfair labor practice complaint in a contract dispute is yet another unfair labor practice and a violation of state law. The contract between TriMet and the union expired on November 30th, 2009. As the contract and a long-standing practice between the parties require TriMet to maintain the 100% premium coverage with rate increases effective January 1, 2010, and provide for the 6-month active employee wage increase on December 1, 2009, and on June 2010. What TriMet did is exactly what our contract required them to do. But now, the decision at TriMet has been made to violate the parties' agreement and to unilaterally make changes to our collective bargaining agreement before an arbitrator has issued the decision based on information provided by TriMet in the same letter dated September 27, 2010. An active employee enrolled in Blue Cross Blue Shield family plan will be charged $226 a month for coverage. An active member enrolled in Kaiser Family Plan will be about $46 a month. And for our retired member's spouse coverage, the out-of-pocket cost will be around $172 a month for members enrolled in Blue Cross Blue Shield plans, and about $43 for retired members enrolled in the Kaiser plan. TriMet is offering a new, lesser plan that would cost roughly $3,000 a year before the plan covered benefits, equal to what two existing plans currently provide. Now this is what's amazing. We have repeatedly asked TriMet to provide us detailed information on the optional plans it is offering to our members, and for the confirmation on what the actual out-of-cost to our members would be for those options. we have not received any written response to our requests. To this date, in fact, we have had verbally been told to us that the cost figures provided to the September 27th correspondence to the union may not be accurate. We believe the attack on our insurance benefits, which has been promoted by the conservative think tanks and media with the encouragement of TriMet's communication department, is unwarranted and ill-will conceived. The union and its members over the years bargained for more benefits and for less wages because we realized the importance of these benefits to our members, both active and retired. Now we are being expected to give these hard-fought for benefits up because TriMet needs to balance the budget on our members' backs. We are not going to stand by and let this happen without a fight. The law requires that the transit contract dispute be settled by interest arbitration. The union and its members are abiding by the law, and we expect TriMet to do the same. Let the dispute make its way through the required process. And when a final and binding decision is made by the arbitrator, both sides will be bound by it. Perhaps TriMet's reason for waiting to circumvent the law is because they are required to make a full disclosure that they may be unable to support their claim of poverty and the need to pay for other projects on the backs of our members. Let's resolve this dispute now. TriMet needs to rescind its intended action and move forward with arbitration. Whether the decision of the arbitrator, it will be binding by both sides. During the pendency of arbitration, there is nothing that prevents the parties from returning to the bargaining table and attempt to settle this dispute. The best resolution is one that is bargained by the parties at the table. The union is ready and willing to return to the table to search for an amicable agreement, and TriMet should be willing to do the same. Thank you, and I will answer any questions you may have.
Thanks, Mr. Hunt, for presenting the union view of this controversy. It was valuable for board members to hear. My own thoughts on this is that this is not the forum to negotiate a labor agreement.
Then get them back to the table.
Yeah, back to the table.
Stop violating the law. Even at the
Michael.
5 o'clock news.
Yeah, well, I agree with that. Also, I do think that TriMet is willing to go back to the bargaining table, is my understanding. So let's
When?
hope we can.
When is it?
When are they there?
If I may, because the question hasn't been asked, but I would like, there seems to be an ongoing area as I'm out there talking with people and communicating on what the law is and where's the difference. Because I was hoping that somebody on your side would challenge me, because clearly we keep talking about the law. We keep talking about doing it legally, and we keep talking about TriMet to abide by it. Most people probably don't understand that ATU 757 was the sponsor of this legislation. We put forward to it. We felt that citizens of this community, their vital transportation is just like police officers and firefighters. And when we're unable to resolve an issue, that dispute should be settled by a third party. That's what we are willing to do. Let me briefly walk you through what the law states. The claim that allows TriMet to forego pay raises and pass on insurance increases to members. The law reads, during the pendency of arbitration proceedings that occur after the expiration of the previous collective bargaining agreement, all wages and benefits shall remain frozen at the level last in effect before the agreement expired, except that no public employer shall be required to increase contributions for insurance premiums unless the expired collective bargaining agreement provides otherwise. The key language, unless the expressing collective bargaining agreement provides otherwise. In case of the TriMet contract, that's exactly what it does. The contract provides a status quo until it is done. Previous TriMet management has recognized the language and continued the wages and insurance benefits, including increases after the contract expired for many years, even after transit workers' interest arbitration law became effective. TriMet has complied with the parties' agreement and continued to provide wages and insurance premium increases after the contract expired. As I said earlier, the current contract we're working under expired November 30th, 2009. All bargaining unit employees received a cost of living increase on December 1st, 2009. Why did TriMet provide the increase? Because they knew the contract required it. On January 1, 2010, the insurance plan premiums provide bargaining unit employees with an increase. TriMet paid the full increase because the contract required. TriMet paid 100% of the premiums. Why did TriMet pay the increases? Because they knew the contract required it. On January 1st, 2010, all bargaining unit employees received a cost of living increase. Why did TriMet give them the increase? Because the contract required it. Now after nearly 2 years, someone apparently at TriMet, managers, that they don't have to continue the practice and the contractual requirement to cover negotiated wage and increased benefits. To me, it doesn't pass the smell test. The attorneys can make a lot of money offering the advice, but in the long run, TriMet will lose. Our operators are professional, our mechanics work tirelessly, our customer service works day and night. The men and women that make this system run. We used to be #1 in transit. We used to be #1 in transit on the way we were operated, the way our system looked. So now we're faced with cutbacks. We're faced with continuing to reduce the level of service. We have retirees that are on a fixed income. I'm a second-generation ATU. I grew up in this organization. My father is one of those retirees.
Yeah!
The hard work that the men and women of this organization did should be honored. It should be celebrated. And we should recognize it. We have a process. It's a very simple one. Allow the third party to make the decision. Allow the law, from what's it entitled to do it. I'll
John,
real quick. I encourage all of you. The reality is Neil was not the general manager when this thing started, but he's the general manager now. And I have respect for him at this point in time. I have continued and pledged that I'm willing to sit down, that I'm willing to negotiate, that I'm willing to make concessions, that I'm willing to talk about variable accounts, that I'm willing to talk about different tiered systems on new hires to come in. Our retirees are going to face January 1 with very little communication, and still to this day, to this very day, don't know the full magnitude of their plan. That is irresponsible. That's not the way we should do business. Let's rescind, send a strong message back that we are willing to work together, that we are professionals. My membership is upset. We've heard information about rumors that we're going to strike, that we're going to do a sick out. And I got to tell you, I'm starting to believe that the rumors actually came from TriMet management.
Yes, they did.
Thanks,
Final thought, and I'm just saying thank you. The final thought, and I thank you for being patient. As you can see in this room, there's a lot of our membership here. But you know what? It's only a small percentage of them. The rest of them out there are working really hard to make the system run. And we're going to continue to do that. But we ask you to do the same. When our operators break the law, they lose their job. If we can't get this resolved, we expect, no, we demand that somebody loses their job.